do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Atlas Balked, a weekly variety show concerning the mundane, weird, and maybe even sometimes dramatic happenings of a few simple-minded guys who just happen to be in a storied fantasy baseball league. This podcast captures the thoughts and musings of Greg, Joe, Jack, and Tim. Download this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get the podcast content you listen to while you ponder the possibility that in an alternate universe, Elmo was an evil Roman emperor. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and email. DM us or send us a quick note at atlasbalked@gmail.com. Why not give us a nice review at iTunes? Come on, you can do it. This is episode 82 entitled Balls Deep in Fantasy. Well, good morning, Barker Nation. We're so happy that you're here enjoying this weekly show with us. Well, actually, it'd be a bi-weekly show. We're going yeah. So,
6 seconds in.
Actually, it would be
2, 1.
bi-monthly. Bi-weekly is twice a week.
Well, actually, yes, you're right. Bi-monthly. Although bi-monthly could be every other month, right? It's one of those weird terms that...
How about we just say twice a month?
Semi-monthly.
Every other week.
Every other week we will be recording from this week forward.
Kind of, right, exactly. Yeah, that's the plan.
Until we don't,
yes. So...
Until we don't.
So, yes. So, enjoy this. Listen to it on slow play if you want to listen to us talking like this or whatever you want to do. We'll get you going. We're so happy that you're here with us now, you crazy, crazy bastards. J-Lo, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
What's that green leaf on your hat there?
Ooh.
Hop Valley Brewing. So that's
okay.
that's a hop.
Oh.
I thought it was just a deformed marijuana plant or something.
No, but you know that that hop plant and the marijuana plant are very closely related, right?
I did not know that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is that right?
Has anybody ever tried to ferment marijuana?
Smoke hops?
I'm sure it's been attempted. I mean, I don't know that it's been documented, but...
Marijuana beer?
Bong water, man.
There's probably someone on Balked Nation, someone who's listening right now who's like, yeah, absolutely I did.
Right after I smoked some hops.
Right?
How do you think Tito became a super fan? Drinking marijuana.
Poor Tito.
Yeah, right. Or maybe the gentleman that we gave relationship advice to who has never responded back again.
Oh, yeah. Whatever happened to that guy?
Well, that's because he was murdered by the girlfriend. Get a threesome.
He's
right.
in prison.
That's what you thought. Yes. I don't know. We don't know. We just
always assume the best.
Actually, our fans are a true reflection of us as we just we do this thing every week or bi-weekly or bi-monthly or semi-monthly or whatever. And we still can't fucking get it together. And we have to spend 20 minutes preparing.
All right. So we'll say we're going to do the show by the seat of our pants instead of bi-weekly.
Every fortnight, there'll be a new episode.
On BBC 4.
GK, you seem a little bit hungover today. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I was staring up at my ceiling fan this morning, like contemplating getting up, and I had recently watched Apocalypse Now, and I was like, this is just like Martin Sheen in that hotel room in Saigon before they came to get him for his mission. Like, I felt that bad, you know?
See, I thought you were going to say I was staring at the ceiling fan and I contemplated getting up and sticking my head in between the blades.
What? Different types of mornings, I think.
Yeah, I just, 2 nights in a row. I'm not usually good for drinking hard for 2 nights in a row, and I got up yesterday and I went to something here in South Florida called the Gridiron Grill-Off. It's food, it's booze, and it's former Dolphins at all these different booths. And so, like, from noon, I was drinking after having drank all night the previous night, and I drank from noon till like midnight last night. Ugh.
So former Dolphins are cooking and making beer, or
No, I mean, so there at every tent there'd be a local chef, and with like a sample of one of his or her signature dishes, paired with some different type of alcohol.
Mark Clayton.
Yeah, and there was Mark Duper was there. Mark Clayton was
Super Duper.
Yeah, and then there'd be a dolphin at every booth, and they were it was like a charity thing. And I ran into an old college classmate of mine, O.J. McDuffie.
Oh yeah. I remember that guy.
Yeah, he went same time at Penn State as I was, and
no shit.
And he's friends with my friend Jen, who lives down here. So I went over and I started chatting with him, and I was like, "Hey man, hey OJ, Penn Stater, blah 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 blah." I showed him my 409 tattoo, and that always gets those former Penn State players super fired up in a positive way.
Are they into cleaning products?
No, it's how many rings? Nice one, Joe.
Nice.
It's a Penn State thing, Joe. You wouldn't understand.
Well, I'm glad you fought through the drunken haze to get on this call.
That's true.
Thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. America works on Dunkin' Donuts.
Swag, good morning. How are you?
What's happening, fellas? I'm doing good. I was having a conversation recently about the top athlete of all time, sport versus sport. You guys know that, Wayne Gretzky is the top goal scorer of all time, right, in the NHL?
Yeah, we know that.
You know that if you took away all of Wayne Gretzky's goals, all of them, he would still be the NHL's all-time point scorer leader.
Wow.
Like all of it, like he has more goals than anyone else, but just on us, he has more assists than Jaromir Jagr, Greg, obviously familiar with, has combined goals and assists, who's the number 2 guy. That's fucking dominant, man.
That really is.
Well, and Jagr had to play till he was 54. I mean...
Yeah, to not get...
Well, no Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I think Howe's right second in goals. I think he's third or fourth all time in points, but...
wasn't he playing for the Hartford Whalers when he was like 65 or something?
Gordie Howe?
Yeah, again, yeah, even more, it makes the stat even more impressive. People, Jordan and Tiger Woods and Secretariat comes up a lot in those conversations. Yeah, I mean, again, and I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I just can't see in any other sport how that, I mean, that's a huge fucking, dominance of a sport.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
He did play at a time when the NHL had they really weren't playing a lot of defense. I mean, they were in the 80s. This was a league where commonly nightly games were 7-6, and I mean there were a lot of goals being scored. And sometimes I wonder if just the longevity.
Yeah, I understand. He is the only player in NHL history to top 200 points in a season, including everybody else that was playing the same time as him. And he did it 4 times. Nobody else has hit 200 once. He's done it 4 times.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's great. He's
You're not saying
phenomenal.
that he's great?
No, I'm not saying he's not great. I'm saying that he is phenomenal, but he was phenomenal at a time where scoring was far easier than it is today. So when you throw a stat like he has more points than anyone else, yeah, he was by far the best in his time. It was just at that time, defensive schemes, the rules, the goaltending, all of that was just not where it is today.
I agree. So you're kind of like, again, not steroids, but comparing, Bonds and McGuire during agreed. Now, with that in mind, in my opinion, his dominance over everyone else during that time is beyond Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, even those 3 guys. But everybody was doing it, right? So
baseball, I think, and we all love baseball. It's more difficult to compare baseball statistical dominance, in my opinion, to any other sport because of the focus on the team aspect of it. Like
agreed.
Gretzky, I can't dispute that Gretzky was the greatest player of all time. But he also was on a phenomenal team. Like when Mark Messier's your second line center, you're Yari Curry and like Paul Coffey. Yep. He had like a fucking all-star team.
Yeah, I agree. And Messier actually was third all time, I believe. So yeah, there you go. So they say Gretzky could have scored 1,500 goals if he wanted to, but he didn't. He wanted to get his play, people involved and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting argument. it's impossible, obviously, to statistically compare, hockey to basketball but one more interesting thing before we tail off. So, number one on this, so this particular list, Gretzky number 1, Michael Jordan number 2, Tiger Woods number 3. No big surprises there, right? Babe Ruth number 4. Number 5, Joe Louis, which maybe Joe could help us with that one. I wasn't around then.
Interesting.
Number 6 was a Greco-Roman wrestler that I have no fucking Alexander Karelin, but I just wanted to bring this up. Number 7, Sir Donald Bradman. Anyone?
Tennis?
Sir Donald Bradman is the first living Australian to have a museum dedicated to his life, his face on stamps and coins, and he was named the greatest living Australian in 2001 by the Australian Prime Minister.
Did he invent the beer snake?
Wait a second. More than Paul Hogan?
He's a cricket player.
But the greatest living Australian, he's better than Paul Hogan?
That's according in 2001. That's what the
I find
Prime
that
Minister
hard to believe. Well, that guy must not have seen Crocodile Dundee 2.
I'm guessing the Australian Prime Minister is familiar. So you got a cricket god, according to this information here. And again, I don't know much about cricket stats, but 99.94 is his test batting average, which supposedly is equivalent to batting .392 career in Major League Baseball or scoring 43 points a game for your career in NBA basketball, which I don't know how that converts. But
Jack, was Corky Stokes on the list?
Not to my knowledge. I think I would remember a name like that. No.
How the fuck are they not acknowledging cornhole?
This list might be a couple years old. It's probably coming up.
By the way, they had this at this Gridiron Grill off yesterday, they had a big cornhole competition, like with stands set up.
Oh, wow. Did you get in there?
No.
Did you play?
No, we thought about it, Adrian and I. Then we looked at every single person on anyone playing, and they were hitting hole after hole after hole. Like, they never fucking missed. Anyone there. They were amazing. Anyway, sorry, I digress. I got so excited. we were like, hey, there's 2 girls. Let's go play them. And then we stood and watched them for 5 minutes, and it was like, score, score, score. Every fucking throw they threw was right in the damn hole.
It is pretty impressive. The folks that are really good at cornhole are really fucking good at it. It can be impressive.
Yeah. I was outclassed.
So we did get a piece of listener feedback from Gmail.
About Greg
Tito.
Shirt?
No. It came from Tito. And the subject
Tito?
line in the email was Justin ? And then the body of the email is pretty simple. It says, read in the voice of J-Lo. And I was like, what is this? And then
Tito really puts effort into this.
Red
I love it.
Jesus,
red.
wow.
No, red or I don't know. I think Tito knew I was going to, I don't know. So read in the voice of J-Lo, who the fuck is Justin? And I was like, what the? And then I remembered the opening to the show with HR Courtney, which was crazy, right? So, Justin? Who the fuck is Justin?
There you go. Perfect. Nailed it.
Oh, that dude is a real super fan if he goes back that far.
He is.
Calling stuff back. That's awesome.
Are you sure he's not one of you guys? Because this is kind of deep stuff. He's not
really
Greg,
not.
Joe.
No, he's not me.
I don't know how
Jack.
to use the internet.
Yeah.
Good point.
He's been banned. No, wait a second. Speaking of Joe's lies, and he doesn't know how to use the internet.
Did you find my secret Instagram account?
No.
He is fighting through the haze of the hangover.
I want to know.
He's sitting forward, folks.
I want this
He is
YouTube video. I want Joe's YouTube video.
Oh yeah, the lights, right?
Yes, the lights.
The humping reindeer.
Did you search it?
I couldn't find it.
All right, I'm going to write this down that I need to look up, and I'll send
What do
you
you
a link.
What are you talking about, Joe? Write it down. Just fucking
exactly.
right there. You've got
Joe
a computer
has 3
you're talking
tasks
into.
all week.
I went to YouTube. I typed in Christmas lights.
What is it going to do to pull it up on the podcast? You can't see it.
We can edit.
There's
all right,
nothing
so
to
I
hear.
typed in Joe Machado, and some weird actor and comedian showed up.
Yeah, you sure it's not the surfer?
He looks like it's angled. You know how when you take a picture straight on and you might be a little heavy, you lean it up a little more, and your arm's going higher and higher. Well, this one is literally almost right over this Joe Machado's head. And
that's 80% of the pictures on Tinder.
So there's a lot of Joe Machados. There's a Poet at KH Radio. There is a Goodbye Amore song.
Or are there? Is there just one Joe that does many, many different
things?
There's
a Joe Machado museum tour. There's a Joe Machado museum? What the fuck?
That's where he keeps getting the shit behind him from.
So it's a museum.
Headed out
it's a
there.
museum with a bunch of people who are named Joe Machado. Their corpses.
I think that.
Let's go to the Joe Machado Museum.
I think that would be called a crypt or a mausoleum.
They have a new exhibition.
Wait, guys, if you have a computer in front of you, you need to fucking go search Joe Machado on YouTube and just look at all these fucking.
No, I did
Joe
that last
Machados.
week. I did it last week, and I was like, there's too many to find.
Did you see the Joe Machado with 2 subscribers, and it's a grown man with a beard hugging Pikachu?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm glad I didn't.
There's a Joe Machado with 2 videos. That's probably you right there. Oh my God! What the fuck is that?
Is it probably still him?
Looks like a murder scene. Jesus Christ!
Oh, you found it.
There it is. That's him. Are there Christmas lights?
Yeah, that must have been it.
There's a lot of weird Joe Machados, Joe.
There's a Jean-Jacques Machado.
And I am the weirdest of them all.
Where is your YouTube channel? There's too many. You're like effectively hidden behind the name Joe Machado. There's so many Joe
Who would have
Machados.
fucking thought? Well, it is
Are you even Joe Machado? Is that even your name?
Again,
He's like
I know.
Smith in Brazil.
Yeah. We did get another piece of viewer mail, Tim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Did you guys want to hear it?
Absolutely.
It's from one of our super fans, Turdnab himself.
Okay.
Turdnab the
Magnificent.
Yes.
Let's get this right.
What's happening?
So he wrote, listen to your date story during my bike ride. Good stuff. All the old fucks at the bar to see the band. That shit is totally real. That's what he wrote. So Turdnab the Magnificent happens to be a avid cyclist. Like he rides, he's really good for his age, for an amateur, and he rides hundreds of miles. And so I think he rides 30, 40 miles a day in the morning before he goes to work.
Wow.
And I guess he listens to our podcast sometimes while he's riding. And I thought, God, that would be like the least motivating accompaniment to any kind of a physical workout would be our podcast. But hey, he liked it, so good. Whatever.
He's just looking for innings eaters, man. He just needs a lot of fucking minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is.
Yeah. We're a fifth inning relief pitcher for him. That's what we are.
he's just rolling through shit. Like, actually, it's great because he knows it's mindless. He doesn't even have to think.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Face forward and pedal.
Turdnab, there's a great podcast called the Louisville Cycling Podcast by Barry Gary. If you're listening to this, go ahead and check that out. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's all about cycling in the Louisville, Kentucky community, and it's
Larry Gary.
For every non-cyclist, it's actually far more interesting than you might think. But yeah.
Oh, look at us connecting people. Now's the time for a little forced fantasy. Yeah.
Zibbity boo ba ba zabadi.
Forced fantasy. Okay, since this originally was a fantasy baseball podcast,
what?
And once we stopped talking about baseball, our listenership fell off the fucking side of the earth.
As it should.
We decided to bring it back in hopes to bring some of our disaffected fantasy baseball listeners back, or those who are really into the Juiceless League for some strange reason. But we do have an expansion draft. Jack and I have worked out how this expansion draft will work as we expand our league. We just want to do a quick couple of minutes just to take you through it. Essentially, what we're going to do is we are going to have an expansion draft. What that means is the 2 new owners will pick from players of the current 10 team. And essentially what will happen is we'll put 5 players each up in the expansion draft. 2 of those players need to be minor leaguers as defined by league rules, and the other 3 need to be major leaguers as defined by the league rules, which is a certain number of at-bats by a certain number of times.
132.
Thank you.
You can do 5 players, and 2 of them are minor league players.
Right.
Or you can do 6 players.
Right, I was getting to
and
that.
put up only one. Oh, okay. So
I was getting to that. Yeah. So I just mean that the most you could ever lose is 2 players, because
if you do 6, you can't lose 3. No, I thought that's what you had said when we talked. Maybe not, because if you do 6, they take 1.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. You're right.
That's
Thank
all
you,
I was.
yes.
Okay.
You're absolutely
Sorry.
right. Yep.
My bad. You can cut all that out and start over.
Yeah. I hope Turdnab didn't fall asleep on his bike and just drive off into the gutter after this conversation.
I nearly did, but that's
yeah. Well, take better care of yourself, Greg.
I do have a clarifying question to ask, and it's in all seriousness. What about like players who ended the season on IR or are still on IR? Do we have to make our rosters totally trimmed down?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody, you're going to have to, like, where you normally wouldn't have to, it's not me, where you normally wouldn't have to until the season starts, even if they're on IR, regardless of your situation, you're going to have to cut your roster down to normal, so that everybody has the same number of people to choose from. And then, of course, the draft.
That'll make the real draft interesting then too,
right?
Because
right.
There might be some notable players who normally we would kind of stash on our IR who have to be let go. Like, not that he's great anymore, but he wasn't having a terrible season when he got hurt. Like Kutch, he's still listed on the site as injured, and I'm going to have to let him go because I'm not going to probably want to keep him over some other players.
Right. But he'll be right. He's assumed to be the starting left fielder for the Phillies next year. So that's how we're going to go into the draft, assuming everybody's healthy, basically.
One of the expansion owners selects a player, and you can then pull two. You can pull 2 back, right?
Okay. Jack? Interesting. Yeah, that sounds cool.
No, 1, right?
You pull one back, right? And then you have 3 left, and then they could select another one, and you pull the other 2 back. That's what it is.
Yeah, correct.
So for the guys losing players like through this system, this is going to make this year's draft for us more fun and interesting. I think.
Yeah,
it totally does. It totally does.
Cool.
Now, there is the situation where there are some teams in the league right now who either don't have a lot of minor league players and may not want to put up 2, right?
Pops.
Yes. Or maybe you're just in love with 9 out of your 10 minor league players and you only want to put up 1. In that case, what we've done is said that you can put up 1 minor league player, but you have to put up 6 total players. So that means you'd have to expose 5 major leaguers, and ultimately you could lose 3 players as opposed to 2.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
So you got, so it could be 3 major and 2 minor, or 5 major and 1 minor, basically.
I definitely have 3 major and 2 minor that, although I like them, it wouldn't hurt me whatsoever to lose any of them.
Which means you'll probably have all of them at the end anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I picked back up Marco Scudero, even though he's been retired for 6 years. Just for this.
Now, there's one other thing on Force Fantasy. So the owner that I thought was going to be in is not. Yes. So we have an open position that we need to fill. Yep.
Snubbed.
Yep.
Tell me, who's busy?
Was it because he listened
they can't do fantasy baseball, for God's sake?
He basically says he doesn't like baseball much anymore, and so there wasn't a lot of passion. So I was well, fuck you.
How'd you get that deep into the talks? That
little nugget. You know what, I was thinking about it, and I don't enjoy baseball at all. I think it sucks.
God. Well, he's a Tigers fan, so you can just kind of start from that perspective. And then, he over the years we've been talking about it, and over the years he's just been becoming less and less interested in baseball. And so at this point he's just like, no, I don't. It sounds like your league is too. He's a listener. He listens to Atlas Balked, but he enjoys the entertainment, but he's not really into baseball. So.
I hope it's safe to assume that the friendship is over.
Are you sure he didn't, after he listened to Justin last week? Is that when he told you? Like, he's like, wait, I'm not playing with this fucking guy. No, but
I did Justin get confirmation after he listened to last week. So yeah, there is that for sure.
Sounds like he's yellow.
So Justin, that means, and we know you're listening, that means that it's not official
Stephanie's
yet.
in.
And you better go find us another player. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wanted to open that up. I don't know if Jack, if you have any other friends that would be interested.
No, that's a no. That's all.
Nope, 3 total. Yep, you guys are all here.
Tim, that caveat that would be interested isn't even necessary because he has no other.
Joe, same to you, and then also
same answer.
GK.
Hey, okay, I'll think about it. Jack, what about Chris's other personality? Would he like to have his own?
I'll consult my Facebook page and see if I can find somebody.
Yes.
I do. I have a couple people. It's funny that being in it and even doing the podcast on it and such. How normal our league is to us, but yeah, when you start talking to somebody else about it that's not balls deep in fantasy, they're like, well, that's kind of a lot, like, and it is kind of a lot, from the draft a team at the beginning of the season and see what happens type situation, which is what most folks are used to. So
I'm going to suggest that's the name of this episode, Tim. Balls deep in fantasy.
Well, compared to the last few after this segment, we have
the real shit fantasy guys are going to be interested in that. So right now we have 10 teams.
10.
Justin would be 11.
That's good. Well,
yeah.
Good math.
Yeah.
And then we need one more. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud, Jack. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I was
Whatever.
actually. I was just
attack me
complimenting you.
I pointed out.
I didn't say it was bad math.
Because I pointed out the fact that you don't have a lot of friends. Sorry.
I've never argued that.
Yeah.
I don't like people much.
And they dislike you
Shit,
bad.
you don't need 2 of us, Jack. Come on. No.
Yeah, I'm not quite Joe.
Well, I'm going to put it out there for Dustin and Eldon again. Maybe cut the cord, you two, and one of you man up and take on a new franchise.
There you go. What about Martha?
Oh yeah. What about Jay Gruden?
he's got some extra time.
Got some free time.
Yeah.
What about Lenny Dykstra?
Oh, yeah, we could open up to Lenny.
That would be incredible. I'm going to email him and invite him.
He would draft himself, even though he's not playing anymore, just so he could have himself on his own team.
Right.
Nails.
Well, there you go.
As his number 1 pick. Nails.
There we go. We desperately seeking owner. That's what we should. Yes, let's go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Send in your
Tito?
applications. Yeah.
What about
Desperately
Tito?
seeking the end of this segment.
What about Tito? Let's have a contest.
We can open it up. It's open. It's out there. So we got
the winning listener is awarded a franchise.
So let's go ahead and let's take a break. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, bots. And over the break, we were talking about the name of Justin's team and just how unworthy that name was, Actually, I think every one of what we come up with a show name would also be a great fucking name for Dustin's team. Like, he's got to change his name. That name cannot stand.
Oh, yeah.
Balls deep in fantasy.
So Tito, Turdnab, HR Courtney, tell us a little bit about what you think would be a good name for Justin's team.
Right. So we'll go right there. Yeah.
And Tim, this just in, I texted my friend Bill, who's up in Providence, and he's definitely very interested in being a team owner.
Okay.
And he knows baseball. I mean, this guy, he watches and reads about sports every day. He watches every Red Sox game. He's into sports big time.
Is he a Red Sox as his team?
Yeah, obviously highly intelligent.
Yep.
Mike asked, Justin does not have a favorite team. Is that right? Do I remember that from a previous?
No.
Oh, is it?
He has 2 favorite teams.
That's what it was. Okay. I knew it was
one
something
American
stupid.
League, one National League. St.
Then you
Louis,
have no favorite team.
St. Louis,
Right.
and Oakland.
Yeah.
You don't get to double dip. There's no free agency in fandom.
He just really, really likes Tony La Russa, so he just
That's what I mean, man. You could be balls deep in fantasy one night and balls deep in fun the next night.
That's true. Good point.
Joe doesn't think you should double dip. Just jump on whatever bandwagon is best and stay with it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because I'm the epitome of that, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
I'm still a Chiefs fan, even though they haven't won anything in my lifetime.
But you jumped on the bandwagon in the 60s when you were in your high school.
Oh, he's got a point. By Joe's theory, Justin should be a Diamondbacks fan, right?
Bandwagon jumper, I would be legally allowed to go onto the Patriots bandwagon because even though I was born,
you are on the Patriots bandwagon, motherfucker.
Yeah, you rode it until the Chiefs had one.
Yeah. After the Chiefs inevitably got eliminated, you were like, well, I guess I do hope the Patriots win.
I remember.
I sounded like
I remember the voice
did.
inflection. That was perfect. It was exact. Yeah.
You had a glint in your eye. Love.
So
Tom Brady's the best.
When you watch the Super
Greatest
Bowl,
of all time.
so when you watch the Super Bowl, you don't root for either team to beat the other one.
No, I don't.
Yeah, only if my team's in it or the Patriots, and then I root for the other team.
Okay, so you do.
Yeah.
So you do.
I root for my team, and then I root against another team. Otherwise, I watch it.
Okay.
Certain teams I care about, like when New Orleans and the Colts played in the Super Bowl, I didn't care.
Who played in the Super Bowl last year?
The Patriots and the Rams. Right?
Well, I fucking hate the Rams.
Why do you hate the Rams? It's
because they beat us during the regular season.
That's like hating Elmo. For God's sake.
Because they beat us.
Well, I fucking hate that little cookie eater too.
Yeah, you can't latch. Oh, that's that. Yeah, I agree with Greg there. I mean, you can.
Well, how is that any worse than having two favorite teams?
That's not
worse.
So
the guy who did Elmo on Sesame Street was a pedophile. Just
geez, there's a surprise.
Well, yeah. If you did Elmo, I mean, obviously that was
Captain Kangaroo's haircut.
You got to start somewhere, I guess.
Just if you're into hating Elmo, I'm just saying.
No. What I'm
my
saying,
instincts proved true again.
That's not Elmo's fault.
That's true. He did have somebody's hand up his ass the whole time.
I mean, how hard is that to believe that a guy who's drawn to puppetry and putting on puppet shows
Wait a minute.
is somehow mentally unbalanced? Come on.
Are you saying Jim Henson is not a good guy?
Is Joe talking about Elmo or Caligula? Which?
Drink their blood, Big Bird. And then root for the Patriots. Elmo wants to see him cry, Big Bird.
What was that? Elmo Yigula? What would that be? I don't know.
Elmigula.
Snuffle up against it.
Now that's the name of Justin's team, Elmo Ligula.
Elmigula, yeah.
47 Blossoms defeated Elmo Ligula last week.
Justin has to change that fucking name. Like, did he do that on purpose?
No, I think he was being very, very earnest when he said that was the team name that he thought was the good team name.
I get it. No, I get it. It took me a minute to get it, but I do get it. It still sucks, but I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim caught the best one in the last episode, and then Justin just blazed right by it, right? What was that? Oh, Demon Semen. I thought that was fucking phenomenal. Yeah. Oh, well.
Well, I guess we did it again. We
did it again.
I played with your heart, got lost in the game. Oh, baby.
Brittany Crow.
That was the Brittany Crow. That's. I just see Greg with a karaoke mic in his hand all the time now, and he's doing a lounge version of "Oops, I Did It Again."
Right. So my friend texts me back. He definitely would like to be in the league. If you want to consider,
which one is this?
This is the dude from Providence.
It's unfortunate that Bill is interested at a time when we are now looking for zaniness and the ability to bring hilarity to our podcast.
He's got some funny stories, man.
He does.
Yeah, he's hell yeah. Like he's he's a horn dog. He's an older guy. He's into chicks.
He's fucking in. Okay.
Yeah.
He's into chicks. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
horn dog.
Is he?
Yeah, horn dog.
Yeah.
Does he listen? Yeah, you said he listens.
Yeah, he listens. Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus! All right.
That's a good start.
Bill.
So he knows what he's getting into.
So I can tell him he's in, or is there?
No. We got it.
Yeah, there's an interview process.
There's a vetting process.
I want to see if Courtney's in.
Courtney's not going to be in, but go ahead. That's fine.
He's got to spend 15 minutes with Joe on the podcast before we can even consider him, just to make sure he's capable.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
One of the things that we talk about a lot is, and we get a lot of compliments on this, frankly, is that our ideas to fix things. We kind of look throughout our existence here and say, geez, this would be better if, right? The three of you have come to this show with an idea for what would be better. So Better by Balked is what we're going to call this. We'll see if that works. And we're looking for just like a little snippet of what you think could be better. And then whatever we think is the most interesting, we'll delve into and see if we can go ahead and cure a societal ill or a major infrastructural problem. Swag, what do you think would be better?
That's the perfect lead in for this. Yes. I was considering the 2019 Phillies season, but I figured we don't have enough time. So I'm going to make it quick and easy.
Trade Bryce. Done.
The thing I think could be better and I'd like to make better is the packaging of elementary school milks.
Okay. Stunning. Sounds fascinating. Yes. Okay.
I remember those days. I was a chocolate guy. I was all about the chocolate milk.
Okay. GK, what do you think could be made better?
Daylight savings time.
Daylight savings time. Okay.
By eliminating it. Those cowardly children who insist on having sunlight. I mean, what percentage of people even have school-age children that it's relevant? If it's such a big fucking deal to start the school day when it's sunny outside or light out, you know what? Half the fucking year, adjust the time that school starts. Those teachers only work till 3 o'clock anyway. They could do another hour, for fuck's sake. You sleep in, get there later. Don't inconvenience the whole fucking world. Just have them start later, I think.
Okay, so that's change daylight savings. Okay.
Yeah.
And J-Lo.
Well, I had a little plumbing situation this week.
Oh, older men, that happens.
Catheters could be made better.
They need to be bigger.
All right, I think we're going with Joe's, and I don't even know what is coming.
Oh shit! I forgot what I was going to say now.
Plumbing issue.
Yeah, plumbing. We had a leak in a sprayer in our kitchen, and so
it's a sprayer. Everyone down.
Okay.
I decided I'm gonna go ahead and fix this, and I go to the local big box hardware store and pick up a pack of adapters because I know nothing is ever the same from fucking brand to brand. And I get home, and none of the fucking adapters works with the sprayer we have. And I just don't understand why we can't have one fucking thing that works well and everybody uses that adapter.
Okay, so we have...
Why can't you have just one fucking plumbing
universal plumbing adapter.
Sprayer.
Right.
For
exactly.
a sprayer.
So
we have great hard.
Why don't you invent it, Joe? Shark Tank.
Because then it would be the 11th one in the package of shit that doesn't work for anybody.
Right. So we have fascist J-Lo, who thinks everything should be the same.
Well, that's a leap.
We have Hate the Kids, Daylight Savings Should Die by GK. And we have Fix the Milk Cartons by Swag. Let me see. I'm going to go with Fix the Milk Cartons by Swag. So Swag, tell us what could be made. How could this world be better if we fix the milk cartons, chocolate and other?
Have you guys tried to open a fucking milk carton from school? They're a fucking pain in the ass. They were a pain in the ass then. I go to my kids' school now. They're a pain in the ass still. We can fucking go to the moon. We can fucking have cars that drive themselves, and we can't put milk in a easier fucking... So my answer is, if you go to the elementary school, right next to the fucking milks is an apple juice fucking container that's plastic with a screw-off lid and is much fucking easier to open. So put the fucking milk in a plastic fucking container and make it easier to open. It's simple. It's easy. I think it would help a lot of people in life.
Okay, A, why are you an adult still drinking milk? And B, why are you at the elementary school worrying about milk?
You son of a bitch. I knew this was coming. Joe, I have children. I have kids that go to
You're right.
elementary school,
Understood.
and I'm the type of father that actually likes to spend time with my children. So I go to their lunch and have lunch with them, and they and every other kid in the fucking class ask me to open their fucking milk because they're not capable of doing so, even in third grade, because of the goddamn cartons they put these things in.
And how do you expect them to live a full life if they can't learn to open their milk carton? You managed to do it, didn't you?
I guess you got
Were
a
you
point
destroyed
there.
by that?
Maybe that's it. Give them an early challenge in life, and then
I say we
it'll.
make the milk cartons more difficult to open. They really deserve that milk.
What doesn't
They're
kill
gonna
you
learn to
makes
go
you
and get
stronger.
it. That's right. We use it as an evolutionary tactic.
Yeah, and then maybe if they were stronger, they wouldn't have to have the whole world change their clocks so that it can funny when they walk half a block to the bus stop.
Touche.
And then we could deal with common sense things like plumbing adapters that work in different places.
But
That's
Jack,
right.
don't-
Think
aren't
about
there-
all the time that's been taken to open milk cartons on this fucking planet, Joe. And if that was dedicated to your fucking issue with your fucking sprayer in your kit, what is it, the spray? Oh, the dish sprayer part of your sink. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Well, I solved the problem. I just went and bought a new fucking faucet and threw the old one away.
well, there you go. So there's your solution.
That's an evolutionary solve for older people. So if people can't figure out which adapter to use, then it's just the exact opposite.
You know,
of
Tim,
that.
when you can put up a shelf without hitting a water line, then we'll talk.
Oh shit. Hey Joe. Hey Joe, you know who makes those adapter packages? The people that sell the new fucking faucet that you just bought. Yeah.
Exactly. That's precisely right. And Greg, I'm with you on the daylight savings time. There's no farmers left who's what it was invented for. Let's just fucking leave it the same all the time and enjoy the darkness and the light and different.
I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like dark at 4:45.
I like going to work in the dark and coming
Me
home
too.
and having 4 or 5 hours of daylight left.
Yeah, me too. Exactly.
Playing golf at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
See there, folks? Little by little, we're going to make this planet a better place.
Mm-hmm. I hope Congress is listening.
How could they not be?
They can't even listen to themselves.
Speaking of making this planet a better place, one of the modern philosophers of our time, Lenny Dykstra,
Yeah.
has really caught the attention of GK. And GK has become an avid follower on Dykstra's Twitter feed and has been sharing with the rest of us some of the great thoughts that are coming from Nails.
Better than I thought, honestly.
I mean, it's surprising, that's for sure. I thought that he'd be talking about sports or himself or, culture, but he's talking about.
He tends to get
religion.
himself in there quite often, but yes.
Yeah. And then there's some very kind of uncomfortable references to his own grandmother, like this one, Nails coming at you from Lincoln Center. I was at the opera with Grandma and her gray bush. What the fuck does that mean?
Does it not mean what I think it means?
I don't know.
No, and one of the things in Nail's biography that he talks about is that he is he's a male prostitute who actually goes on dates and sometimes performs sexual acts with older women.
Are you kidding me?
So I think no, I'm not. He has talked about this a lot.
Yep.
He said that oftentimes they just want to go out to dinner and have someone to talk to, but there are times where he has to have sex and gets paid an awful lot to do it, flies around the world in so doing, obviously hanging out at places like the Lincoln Center watching the opera.
Oh my God. That is so disturbing.
And so, he's a male gigolo for mature women.
Jesus. Like Fred Garvin.
Don't know who Fred Garvin is.
Remember Dan Aykroyd? So, Fred Garvin.
Prostitute.
Male prostitute.
So was grandma in this case a euphemism?
I guess. Yeah, I hope so.
Was on
So-
a date?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
possible.
God. That makes his other tweets even more bizarre. Like,
Is that possible?
I mean, here's a cross section of them. So we've just learned, listeners, that he's a male prostitute. He was at Lincoln Center, not enjoying himself. But he's also, he asked a question to his fans: will Nails be able to extend the arrest route until Saturday, November 23rd, which would make it a full 18 months since being arrested? He put a poll on his Twitter feed about his own. And fans voted that he would be able to extend his arrest drought.
Surprising.
And so then he wrote, "Thanks for the confidence in me, Nails Nation."
Nails Nation.
You got to have goals.
God, I want him to listen to us so bad.
So there's that. So he has the sleeping with people, that, and then he also talks a lot about religion. Where's that other one?
I love how he refers to himself as Nail. I guess when you get a nickname that cool, like Nails, I guess you latch onto it, right? You try to keep that going for like as long as humanly possible in life.
Do they call him Nails because he was tough or because he bangs a lot of grandmas?
But the official vote was 58% believed he would be able to extend his arrest drought.
So it's close.
That's not overwhelming.
817 votes.
Yeah.
And then he quotes Genesis. And I will bless those who bless
Phil
you,
Collins?
and the one who curses you,
Abacab.
I will curse you.
He who shall not be named.
And all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you. Genesis. But then he also talks about he interviewed Kevin Stevens. Where is it? He talks a lot about Judaism and stuff.
He said something about the Torah in Genesis.
Yes. The Torah.
You sent
Nails
us a text.
Did you say Kevin Stevens?
Yeah, he interviews him, I guess.
Does he really?
The Torah.
Dude,
who's Kevin
seriously,
Stevens?
Greg knows who he is.
Yeah.
Kevin Stevens is almost as fucked up as Lenny Dykstra. That should be a hell of a fucking conversation.
I think it might be more.
What's he known for?
Hockey.
He was a 50-goal scorer.
Back when Gretzky was playing?
He played with Lemieux, in Pittsburgh. Yep.
He was a big goal scorer. Yeah, he quotes the Torah for some reason. So he's a man of many parts.
Can you send me the link? I really does he really interview Kevin Stein? I need to hear that. Kevin Stevens would have been. He discovered drugs very quickly into his career. Unfortunately for him, otherwise he was a very good player.
Oh, maybe he doesn't interview him. No, here it is. Here's the actual tweet.
Maybe they were arrested.
Nails
together.
shouts out at 2 hours 15 minutes into the newest Crime and Sports episode about Kevin Stevens, once of the Penguins, hosted by Jimmy Piss Funny and Wisman Sucks. Okay.
Those are the guys that do Crime and Sports.
That's podcast you mentioned, right?
Yeah. That's where I was listening to the Kevin Stevens. So he must have listened to the same thing. He heard his name in it and then had to point out that, hey guys, this is a third one. They did 2 on me and referencing me in this other fucked up one. Like, I don't remember him being referenced in it, but again, Kevin Stevens is a pretty fucked up dude himself. Love you, Lenny. Keep it going, Lenny, please.
Keep going, Nels. You be you.
You be you. And try to stay out of jail doing so.
November 23rd, it'll be 18 months.
You got to have goals.
Mm-hmm. Manson lived a long time, too.
He's still alive, isn't he?
No, he died.
Oh, damn it. I like that guy.
Did he really?
Yeah. When did he die?
Maybe, I don't know, in the last year or two.
How did I not know that? I think I would have. Really?
That sounds right. I'm not 100%, but
I'm looking.
Heart attack, November 19th, 2017.
How did I not know that?
But it doesn't say he died, right?
Heart attack, cause of death. Heart attack. Place of death, Bakersfield, California. Date of death, November 19th, 2017.
Wow, that's crazy.
What you don't hear about is he had children.
What?
You never hear about them. He had 3 children, 3 sons.
Wow.
Charlie, Chuck, and...
Before or
2 of them
after?
are named Charles. I guess it had to be before. Valentine Michael Manson, Charles Manson Jr., and Charles Luther Manson.
How about going through life with that name, right? Not only do you like a random Charles Manson probably has a hard time, right? But then you're actually Charles Manson Jr.
And there's 2 of them.
And you look like him.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them.
Right. Are you related?
Yeah,
Actually I am. That's got to be rough.
His net worth at his death was $400,000.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dollars or cigarettes?
Charles Manson's net worth was an American criminal and musician at a net worth of $400,000 at the time of his death.
The songs that he did, yeah. Merch.
Well, he wrote a Beach Boys song.
Yeah.
Beach Boys recorded one of his songs. And
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's recorded a bunch himself, but yeah.
Yeah.
He wrote a Beach Boys song before he was arrested.
Yeah. They was heading out with Dennis Wilson.
And Brian Wilson too, right? I think that
Yeah. I mean, he got to the Beach Boys by Dennis Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, prior to the Tate situation, when he first got out there, that's what he wanted.
Situation? You mean the fucking murder?
Yeah. So he wanted to be a musician, and he actually did. Like, he partied with them quite a bit, if I remember correctly. He definitely had a relationship with them for sure. And him and Brian Wilson.
He wrote a song called "Never Learn Not to Love," and then the Beach Boys recorded it as "Cease to Exist."
Wow. Unbelievable. First of all, I didn't know how I could miss that. Then to just find out now that he wrote a Beach Boys song, that he hung out with the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, I think, is a beautiful person.
Well, he is a beautiful person. But it was Dennis.
But he's also kind of his own special kind of crazy, too.
Well, this was with Dennis, though, and I think that the other Beach Boys were like, this guy's interesting, but a little intense and odd, and I don't think they were super chummy with him. And that's why the crime spree happened, because he was seeking to avenge what he thought was being cheated out of his fame by the Beach Boys. Like, I think that the house that Sharon Tate or the Labriolas lived in was either Dennis Wilson's old house or was the record producer for the Beach Boys' old house. He was sending his minions to kill somebody related to the Beach Boys, and Sharon Tate and the what were they? Not the Labriolas. What were they called? The La Biancas or whatever.
I have never heard that before.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that Dennis Wilson stole a song from Charles Manson as well. Called "He Is the Wizard Man." Supposedly actually stole it from him. Yeah, because they weren't the Beach Boys at that time, right? They were like becoming, right?
They were established.
Were they?
Sure, they were.
I guess so. Yeah, true. Yeah.
No,
True.
but so like he sent them to that address to, maybe it was like the producer of the Beach Boys or some shit like that.
So here you go, Tim. The Beach Boys recorded in 1969, as Greg mentioned, "Never Learn Not to Love." In addition, Guns N' Roses recorded a Charles Manson song called "Look at Your Game, Girl" on the Spaghetti Incident in '93. Marilyn Manson recorded "Six City," which obviously in 2000 was written by Charles Manson. And then you have Sonic Boom, G.G. Allen, and Crispin fucking Glover in 1989. "Never Say Never to Always," a song written by Charles Manson. They're all covers. I guess they were actually performed by Charles Manson at one point and then covered by each of these folks. So
Jesus.
So Crispin Glover probably had something to do with some of that $400,000 that Charles Manson had.
What is the fascination with assholes like that? Why would you cover a song by a jerk?
You've been on the podcast for a couple years now, Joe.
If you're Marilyn Manson, it's the shock value.
Yeah, sure.
I'm doing a song that was written by.
Plus you chose the name Manson. For a reason.
Serial killer. Yeah,
sure. And Crispin Glover, for those of you who aren't familiar, is fucking insane.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I did look it up. Brian Wilson detested him and refused to work with him.
Okay.
And then Manson threatened Dennis Wilson when he changed the lyrics to the song by putting a bullet in his bed, and as a warning. But then it was
oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So it was Terry Melcher is the guy's name. He was or is a famous rock recording or rock producer from those days. That's who Sharon Tate moved into that guy's house after he moved out.
Okay. Huh. That's where they thought they were going.
Yeah. Manson was in the car one day when Wilson dropped Melcher off at his house at that address, the house that later was rented by actress Sharon Tate and director Roman Polanski.
That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, boys. Well, listen, I hope you have a great couple of weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks in our semi-monthly, bi-monthly, bi-weekly schedule, whatever the fuck it is. And
the seat of our pants.
Every now and then.
Our pants schedule, yes. And
here and there.
Yeah. So I hope you all have a great week. And
bye.
This was fun. Yeah.
Well, we hope you have a good week too, Tim.
Thanks, man. I totally appreciate that. Bye.
Take care, fellas.
See ya.
Sayonara, Gamara.
Can you say forced fantasy real quick?
Forced fantasy.